Hey, welcome to this monthly studio report for Broken Hammer Games. I am founder, CEO, writer, a lot of things to do this company and these projects. This is a report for May 2023. We're going to grab a few things to talk about here, and there's one major decision that did kind of, we're moving towards a certain direction that we'll get into by the end of the report. For now, let's go ahead and get started. Month of May was actually pretty busy with a lot of artwork getting done for mostly Project 2. There was a lot of character model work that was also getting done for Raven's Prayer, specifically getting the character models built with all the expressions, which is a very time-consuming task. I've done it before myself for the original Dust and Air introductory story, and yeah, it takes a lot of time building character and moving the little expressions and trying to line everything up so that the animations look right. So that was actually a big set of work that needed to be done, and Winx did an awesome job. She got some of the major characters that we have, not only for Raven's Prayer, but also for every other story. Those have now full models. They're all fleshed out. Be Fergus, Powder, and Raleigh. Everything for them is all set. We also have the new William models for William's little head that we have in the corner. Those have been completely for the next set of the story. Those are all completely done. So that was some big milestones there. We finished in the month of May, and we can't be happier with how they turned out. Winx did an awesome job, and we're very happy that we were able to have her available for this sort of work. I mean, it's work that you don't really like doing, but it has to be done. So that's that. On that, Georgie did get some more Chapter 2 work done. Can't really show any of it right now because I'm going to give away certain parts of the story, so that's going to have to wait. As far as Project 2, yeah, that was huge. John turned out quite a bit during the month. I think we had two different sets of work orders that he went through, so he's been very active, and we're happy to hear he's been very active and on his work outside of Broken Hammer too. And there's a lot of people that are finding him, and the word's getting out, and he's actually been very busy with the work. We're glad to hear that. We're happy that we were able to recommend him to people, and the people listened and they picked them up, and we're happy to see him getting out there. His experience on not only in Project 2 but also Dust and Air has actually been very much of a blessing for him. It seems. I mean, we've watched where he's come from and where he's going with it, and I'm just going to show a little brief thing, a brief example of some of the work and what has changed in him since he first started on with us. Now, when we have cityscapes, that was one of the big things we wanted another artist for, was the big cityscapes, big backgrounds, things like that. And John is able to do them, but at first he wasn't quite sure because he hadn't really done anything major like we were asking him to do. And so I'm just going to load up and show. Like when we asked him to do a cityscape for Project 2, this was the initial thing that came out on it. As you can see, it's more of a top-down approach, and we're like, no, we need to see the city and such. But in the end, we were like, hey, actually, we can use this shot. So that was actually one of the reasons why we kind of kept it. Is like, hey, you can actually use this, but he needs more experience. So he worked on Dust and Air a little bit. He got to see some examples of the cityscapes that we're doing. He got more of an understanding. Then he worked on some other projects, and then we decided to bring him on back to this cityscape and try to do it the original way it was possibly going to be meant to be done. And this is how it turned out, which is exactly it. And this is the cityscape that we were looking for, a good distance shot, and it turned out very well. We're very impressed at where his progress is coming, and we're very happy to see that he is leveling up as an artist. And if you do follow him on Facebook, Twitter, and he might be on Instagram a little bit, But you'll see a lot of his updates because he does post updates of these art that he does on his own, and he is improving. You compare past shots where he was from now where he is, and he's getting a lot better with his shading and a lot of the texturing and such, which is, I mean, we've kind of insisted on certain things. I've insisted on things that we've gone for some of the images for Project 2, that, yeah, we need more shading here. We need to adjust this. And so he is picking it up and he's advancing. And so we're very glad to see that. And we hope that others are going to give him some more work and he will get involved in some other big projects besides us. The other thing in the month of May, which was very big, was we had a major music meeting during the month of May. We met with Gimmon, chatted with him, and went over a bunch of stuff. He's actually had some changes in his own side jobs and career and such, and yeah, he's had a very active few months, and all of a sudden that's kind of calming down a bit, so he's able to work on some things. And so we're going to be talking with him a lot more during the month of June and touching base back and forth for the score for Raven's Prayer. We also have brought up Project 2 a bit too. Now we may also get him active in that as well. We're going to see as it goes, and he's kind of got to see the Project 2 and get a feel for it as well. We can't just throw him into the project and be like, hey, or make this sound, and such. We kind of like to bring him in so he gets a feel for it, and he gets kind of the emotion scenes and how it's going to work. And we're also still hoping for some good news from Sean on that end. His nursing career, where he went into nursing, has been calming down a little bit more, but I mean it's chaotic sometimes either way, and so we're not sure exactly if or when we're going to get him back. But we are looking at alternatives if something happens and he's not able to continue. I mean, we always wish him the best. We love his work. We hope that he comes back because we really think that he has a very promising career in music. So the final note. Now, this is not a decision that is made lightly, but considering the updates that have been coming out of Strikeworks for Tyranno Builder, and I've been paying attention to them off and on, and I've been talking with the other devs in the Tyranno community, and Strikeworks seems to be very much making DLC. They don't seem to be focused on the engine, and that is concerning, to say the least. I mean, I understand, and other devs understand that they have to make some money to be able to afford to build things and such, but at the same time, there are long-standing issues with the engine, and them making DLC, trying to do this, it's like, this needs to be fixed yesterday. This needs to be fixed like a year or two ago. So I have authorized, as of pretty much the last week of May, I reached out to Michael, I reached out to Finks and the programmers, and I have authorized an exploratory, totally serious this time, look into Ren'Py, and can we transition Dust and Air and our current work in Tyranno over to Ren'Py. Now we're going to be looking at different programs to make that possible. No details yet on whether or not, how, when. It's just we're kind of like Strikeworks. You guys, we were hopeful when you came on, but you left us hanging. Ultimately, it's like we were hoping for more. I mean, their update last year was huge. It helped a lot. But it's been quiet ever since, and they are not active in the community. They're not talking to anybody. We understand there's a Japanese language gap and such, but I mean, we were hoping at least some little efforts to kind of like talk with people, say, hey, this is what's going on. We are hearing you, people. We know, we understand your issues, and that's not happening. So we are going to begin looking at Ren'Py. Ren'Py has had some major updates, which have actually, and I've been paying attention because I do follow their work as well. It's making porting and a lot of stuff much easier, a lot more like Tyranno in many ways, which is kind of one of the holdups, one of the things we were looking at. So we will see in the coming weeks and months maybe a transition over. I don't expect Tyranno, our current build in Dustin Air, to switch over immediately. At the very least, if we do switch all that over, it might be late in the year, if not next year. We don't want to kind of rush anything, because Strikeworks could do something. They could all of a sudden come out with, oh, here's the big update you've all been asking for. Don't give up on us. And yeah, we're just going to have to see. We're hoping, praying. We're like, please, 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 Strikeworks, come through. Right now, this is what we have to do. And the first project that will be affected by this is likely going to be Project 2, because it hasn't really entered a heavy active development in Tyranno yet. Although we're trying to work something out where we can build in Tyranno and then release in Rempe, so we can transition. So we can use the easy Tyranno, which is a lot better for getting a build up, and switch it into Rempe later. We're trying to build something for that right now. Anyways, that is it for the month of May. June, we'll continue on where we've been. Looking forward to some updates on quite a few areas in the month of June, as it's going to be starting to heat up. Summer, and the anniversary sale / summer sale is going to be coming in July. So it might be the end of June. Sometimes the dates overlap, but we'll see. So thank you for joining us, and see you in the skies. Nay.